conservative. So to recap, what is a conservative force? Conservative force is one which for which if you calculate the work done, it is not dependent on path, is independent of path taken, right? And non-conservative force is one where the associated work done is dependent on path, right? So the way that we can, even without calculating the work done for different paths, we can actually just look at the force and say whether it is conservative or non-conservative. That is given by this condition. So for conservative force we have curl of F. What is curl of F? Curl of F is nothing but del cross F is 0. And for non-conservative force we have curl of F, which is del cross F, is not equal to 0. So if we have this condition, then we know that the force is conservative, and otherwise the force is non-conservative. So this is a sufficient, necessary and sufficient condition for a force to be conservative or non-conservative. Alright. So now let us look at some more line integrals. Okay, first let us do a small example where we find whether a force is conservative or non-conservative. If someone wants to look at how this condition has been derived, you can look at the Bose textbook. I'm not really going to go into it, but you should remember that this is the condition. So let's find out, right? Let's do a problem where we have to find out whether the force is conservative or non-conservative. Find if F is conservative when F is given by 2xy minus z cube I plus x square j minus 3x z square plus 1 into k. Okay, so we have del cross F. What is del cross F? Del cross F is nothing but I j k. It has to be dou by dou x, right? Dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, and 2xy minus z cube x square minus 3x z square plus 1. So this is your del cross F. Okay, so this is going to be given by I into dou by dou y of minus 3x z square minus 1 minus dou by dou z of 2xy minus z cube minus j of dou by dou x minus 3x z square minus 1 dou by dou z 2xy minus z cube plus k dou by dou x into x square minus dou by dou y 2xy minus z cube. Okay. So this term is 0. Here you have I into 3z square, and then plus j into 3z square minus j into 3z square So this is a mistake, right? So what we'll get here, x square, right? It goes this way, and then for j you have dou by dou x into this minus dou by dou z into 2xy minus z cube, and for k you have dou by dou x square minus dou by dou y into 2xy minus z cube. So this is going to be 0. So I into 0 plus j into 3z square plus j into 3z square, so this gets cancelled, and then you have plus k into 2x minus 2x. So this gets cancelled, so you're going to get 0, right? Therefore, f is conservative. Alright. Now let us look at some more line applications of line integrals, and then we will move on to Green's theorem. So whenever you are given some function, this is x, this is y, right, and you have some function, this is f of x, so y is equal to f of x, and if I ask you to calculate the area between a and b, then how will you do it? You will basically just integrate from a to b f of x dx, right, and that will give you your area under the curve from these points, right. Now suppose we want volume. If we need to compute volume, then what we'll do, we have this three-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system, and let's say we want to compute the volume of this cylinder, right. Then what will we do? We will first compute the volume of, or the area of this small patch here, like that, right, and then this box, right. So this area is basically nothing but delta x into delta y, and because z, and then we have to compute sum over all the possible boxes, right, that are possible along the cylinder. So essentially what we'll do, so delta a is nothing but delta x into delta y, right? And what we have to do is we have to sum over all the tall boxes, okay, to get the volume. So how we do that is, first we have to find what is the function z. So z will be a function of x and y, right? And then we can get volume to be an integral over the area f of x comma y dx dy. So this is the way that we can calculate the volume, and this is your area, right? This is your area. Okay, now let's look at an example. Find the volume of the solid below the plane z equals 1 plus y and bounded by two x plus y equals 2. Okay, so we have to find, so this is some kind of a solid where on the top it is bounded by this plane z equal to 1 plus y, and at the bottom and at the very bottom it is bounded by this particular line. Okay, so let's see what this plane is going to be, what this solid is going to be like. Okay, so let's say this is our line, this is our x and y, okay, and this is our line 2x plus y equals 2. Okay, so if this is the line, then when y is 0, x will be 1, right? So you'll get 1, 0 here, and when x is 0, right, y will be 2, so you'll get 0, 2 here. Okay, next it is bounded by some plane which is of this okay, so this is our, so let's say this is our z equal to 1 plus y. Okay, so when y is 0, z will be 1, right? So this one will be, so let's add the third dimension also here, then we'll know what we're talking about. So this is 0, 0, this is 0, 2, 0, and this one is 0, 0, 1, right? And this one is 1, 0, 1. Okay, so this is basically, we want to find the volume of this solid. Okay, so even if we don't want to deal with all the diagrams, what we can see is the basic diagram, right, where 2x plus y equal to 2, that is the lower bound, and the upper bound is z equal to 1 plus y. So now we have to find the volume of this solid. So how will we do it? We'll do just like we have said before, v is nothing but integral over the area, so it is a double integral with f of xy dx dy, and this one is nothing but z. So this is nothing but integral over the area z dx dy. So what is z? Equation of z is given by 1 plus y in this case, right? We have seen that here, right? Z is equal to 1 plus y. So we will write over the area 1 plus y dx dy. Okay. Now let's compute this. Okay, so we can change this into two parts. So first we have 1 plus y into dy, and this whole thing is integrated over dx. So what are the limits of y? Now y follows some equation with respect to x, right? What is the equation? 2x plus y equals 2. 2x plus y equals 2. So y is nothing but 2 minus 2x, and it starts from 0, 0, right? So look at this, it starts from 0, 0 and goes to 2x plus y and goes to 2 on the other side with the equation of the line. So it goes from y equal to 0 to y equal to 2 minus 2x. So these are our limits. So we have y equal to 0 to y equal to 2 minus 2x. And x goes from, what does x go from? X goes from 1 x goes from 1 to 0, right? So we can do this. Alright, now let's see what it is. And then you will get over here, if you integrate this, you are going to get y plus y square by 2, and this goes from 0 to 2 minus 2x. This is dx. Okay. So v is given by this. So you will get okay. So you can now compute this integral. So you get from 1 to 0. Y is, so first you have to substitute for 2 minus 2x and 0. So you will get 2 minus 2x, 2x whole square by 2 into dx. Okay. So you are going to get 1 to 0. 2 minus 2x plus 2 into so let's simplify this. 4 minus 4 minus 6x plus 2x square. So you're going to get, now let's compute the integral. So we'll get 4x minus 6x square by 2 plus 2x cube by 3. So 0 minus 4 minus 6 by 2 is 3. And plus 2 by 3. So 1 plus 2 by 3 is 5 by 3. So you get minus 5 by 3, but obviously volume has to be positive. So this is going to be V equal to 5 by 3. Okay, so this is what you're going to get. Alright. Let's look at the limits once more. Alright. So the limits are, what are the limits? So the line was y is equal to 2 minus 2x. So if you plot this line, right, intercept is 2, right, so this would be the intercept, and then slope is 2. So this would be 0, 2, this is y, this is x, and this is the line y equal to 2 minus 2x, and here you would have 1, 0. So essentially, if you look at x is going from 0, 0 to 1, 0, and y is going from 0, 0 to 0, 2. Y is going from 0 to 2, x is going from 0 to 1, subject to the line 2 minus 2x. So actually the limits here should have been, right? So if you look at the limits here, right, this should have been, in fact, this should have been from 0 to 1. Okay, then we wouldn't get negative volume at all. So if you have such a mistake at some point, you can always double check by drawing the diagram. Okay, so essentially you have from x equal to 0, x equal to 1, so finally which is equal to 5 by 3. Okay, so this is your volume. We can also calculate this in another manner. You can also do it another way, which would be to calculate V is equal to A Z dx dy, which is one plus y dx into dy. So here dx, right? So x goes from 0 to y minus 1 minus y by 2, and y goes from 0 to 2. Okay, and then you will actually get the same answer. You will get 5 by 3. Okay, you can verify this. Alright. We can also do the same integral in a different manner, which is to do a triple integral over volume dx, dy, dz. So here what we'll do is, we'll do x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. Then we'll do y equal to 0 to y equal to 2 minus 2x. Then we'll do z equal to 0 to z equal to 1 plus y. This is dz, dy, and dx. So this would be our way. So here again, if you see, you will get x equal to 0, x equal to 1, 0, y equal to 2 minus 2x, and 1 plus y. So you would get 1 plus y dy and then dx. So ultimately you will get the same answer. Okay, you are coming back, you are converting this triple integral to a double integral here, and then from here you know how to calculate it. Okay, so this is the way to do it for double or triple integrals. Alright. So homework. Which of the two force fields is conservative? Given F1 is equal to minus yi plus xj plus zk, and F2 is equal to yi plus xj plus zk. Okay, so you have to find out which one is conservative and calculate for each field the work done in moving a particle around the circle. X equal to cos t and y is equal to sin t in the xy plane.